Hello guys, and welcome back to what will be the milestone cast 5 in the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. My name is Guile, and first of all I'd like to start off by saying a slight apology to Zoc and a few others. I did mention in my previous cast 4, that Funk was top of the leaderboards. He is top of the global ladder, but Zoc and a few others are ahead of Funk, I did check today, on the 1v1 ladder. So no offense intended if you are ahead of Funk fan. I wasn't meaning to, diminish anybody else's accomplishments. But this particular game we're going to watch today, this is a 1v1 ladder match between Isen and Tiptushi. Two pretty well-seasoned players. They've been playing a lot recently. They're pretty high up the leaderboards themselves. I'm not even going to comment on their position for fear of getting it wrong. But they're very, very proficient players, and I really like this map. I haven't played this map before. I'm saying that about a lot of these maps, I know. But you know what they say: those who can't play cast. But this particular map, I believe, is called Voi Vitu, and I believe it's a clan tag produced map, and it's really, really unusual. You can see it's got a lot of sea, and it's got this upper section here that's completely kind of cut off by cliffs, except for these little narrow entryways, these little bottlenecks. But what you can't really deduce from this angle is if I zoom in, this is in fact a terrace. So there's a massive height map differential between the lower section and the higher section. This makes for some really interesting play, because if you lose this top section, this plateau goes right the way around the back of your base, which really, I mean, you can imagine T1, T3 mobile RT in there, T2 missile launchers. They could do all kinds of damage to you, and they're even slightly shield back. I mean, you couldn't really imagine firing back with any kind of PD down there, because it's just going to hit this little lip here, so it offers pretty good protection. You can see a little difference of opinion, though, in the way this map should be played. Isen is going straight for a naval factory, which I like, because there's so much mass down here. He gets out some early navy. He can command superiority over the ocean. Whereas Tiptushi is taking his commander straight out, and he's going for an aggressive build, trying to snatch this plateau. So the two players basically offering opposite strategies here. So it's going to be very, very interesting. I am going to run this at +1. I have been running the others at +2. The reason I'm going to run this +1 is because it is such a close-knit map, and these players are so proficient. I anticipate a lot happening, and I don't want to miss more than I have to. So you can see an early T1 interceptor coming out from Isen, just doing a little bit of scouting, making sure there's no early air rush coming, no early bomber work. If you just have a look and see what he's seen, so he's well aware, and he's also can see from that little scout that there's no naval factory up. So he's got this early T1 sub out. There's not really going to be anything for it to shoot out. But it does mean that if you can maintain naval superiority down here, you can make a massive grab for all of the mass points, and there's 3 hydrocarbon plants here. So there's a lot of mass that's sitting out here that it looks like Tiptushi's not even going to make a play for. He's made his strat. Commander, it's going to be up here, and that's the way he's going to play it. So it should be pretty interesting. You can see Isen now electing to take his engineers straight out, straight for those mass points. Tiptushi, on the other hand, is going straight for the Tech 1 spam. Both players going for these early neighbouring points, but little mobile light artillery. This is something I see every now and again on this map. Little mobile light artillery coming in here, and that's going to be able to take out this engineer and take out this mass extractor. No, he's going to move the engineer away. Question is, has he got? No, yeah, he knew it was there, and that's gone, and that's the first real mass point down. Minor victory, but a victory nonetheless. So you see a serious amount of units massing for Tiptushi up top now. I'm just going to speed this up to +2 for a little bit, just to get the majority of the fight going. But yeah, it's quite interesting. It's kind of strange as well. I don't think it looks like he's planning to do anything significant. He's just building a T1 engineer, helping to get these these mass points. Doesn't look like he's going to be building any Tech 1 frigates or anything to harass this coastline. I mean, they don't have a great range, but they could possibly snipe a few mass points, and he's certainly not going to come under any threat except for some, I suppose they could build some mobile artillery up here, but as we know, boats versus Tech 1 land units, boats are generally going to win as long as you bother to micro them. So yeah, if we take a look at the mass coverage at the moment, looks like Tiptushi is sitting on around 34 mass, as opposed to Isen sitting on 32, but I do expect that to change because he's coming completely unchallenged down here. Up the top down here, you can see the height map messing with these auroras slightly, firing straight into the side of the cliff, not putting any damage on that engineer, but he has got a nice new unit mix, so he's got some artillery there, which are going to do the work for him. Just take out this little mass, repay the compliment for this little mass that was lost down here. But Isen also making really good use of this lower beach that really doesn't have any function to the map other than it's been littered with reclaimable rocks. Much better than trees for mass, which tend to mostly yield you power. But he's upgraded. Interesting, he's gone for an early Tech 2. So he's going to be pumping out some hover tanks. See if, yeah, there we go. Some blazes. See if that's going to turn the tide, because to be honest, it's looking like he's going to be outmatched up here. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 land factories, another one on the way. So much spam. He's actually going to be pushing forward now with his commander, and it's going to be interesting. I don't see that much on the field for Isen, but he has got a mobile shield gen that can turn things around. Some anti-air turrets going up, making sure that Isen doesn't get more scouting information than he needs to. So he's now pretty much finished getting all the mass in the ocean. So let's see how that plays out. So Isen sitting at 45, Tiptushi now sitting at 37. So that is a difference, but Tiptushi is now going to make a push. And he's just going to bypass any problems with the shields or anything like that. He's just going to mob him completely. And it is possible, obviously, with T1 units to still be very effectual against an army of partial T1 and T2 units, especially if you have a lot of T1 arty, the Lobos, which it appears like Tiptushi does have. Tiptushi's also gone for a early T2 air factory, so he wants to maintain air superiority. You can see he's kind of got it, but there's a lot of T1 flak on the field, so perhaps Tiptushi worried about an early Mercier attack. That's the guided missile attack on his commander. Isen taking reasonable amounts of fire, but you can see he's just yielded this section now, and this could be a problem. I mean, he's probably gonna lose all of this. He's got nothing really that he can do about it. Isen coming out to do a little bit more work with his commander. He has got the weapon upgrade, so he's trying to get as many kills on his commander, get that ranked up as soon as possible. Just to back that mobile missile launcher out there. There's not going to be much use against the commander, certainly at that range. Isen down to 1,000, 500, 300. Oof! I did see about 5 hit points or so on his commander. Isen very nearly offering up the game right there. Very nearly losing it. And desperately he's spamming up some T1 and T2 point defense, trying to make sure that this spam doesn't come in the base, but he's got another problem. T1 units coming around the back, as I was mentioning earlier. He's got a few Lobos in here, it looks like. Yeah, there we go. And they're going to be able to come down, maybe take out a few engineers, the hydrocarbon plant. Very cheeky point defense triad build from Tiptushi there. Gets one up. That's going to be able to do some damage. Doesn't want his commander standing there at all. Isen needs to move. No, he's going to aggressively go up there and try and overcharge instead. Very ballsy defensive play from Isen there. But he does get an Oblivion up, and he gets a nice mobile shield generator over the top with it. And of course, Aeon very powerful at holding this kind of map, because these choke points have to funnel these units in, and of course the Oblivion turrets do so much splash damage. So really you're just offering to level this guy. He's up to 10 kills already. Nice mix with a T1 turret backing it up behind. And some T2 gunships as well, still trying to help thin out the storm. But Isen now completely yielding the top terrace. Still not electing to go for any kind of naval bombardment. I guess he's got some good scouting info of Tiptushi's base. He knows that this is all very, very meager building stuff. Yes, there's some mass points which you could take out, which would be nice, but the majority of the trouble that he's going to be facing is has been very cleverly built by Tiptushi on the upper plateau. And unless you've got Tech 3 mobile missile ships or something like that, I don't think Aeon cruisers are going to do much against it. So he's wisely not electing to go for it just yet. He has teched up to the Tech 2 factory, but he's not put any build orders on just yet. Instead, he's gone for some nice harass with those gunships, taking out those mass points. He's probably going to lose them to the T1 interceptors. He's electing to put some fire on this factory, but it's not going to do much there. Interesting. He's airlifting his very damaged commander across the map. I'm not sure what he's going to do. Looks like maybe he's thinking about doing some kind of drop into the other. And this is very interesting because this could completely turn this around if he doesn't get sniped by something. You can see he's up to rank 2, and he's brought a mobile shield gem with him. And he's rank 3, so that's a nice bunch of HP he's just got back there. And it looks like he's actually going to cap, very cheekily, cap this factory. That's going to give him UEF tech as well, which is never a bad thing if you can steal your opponent's tech. And why build a new factory when you don't have to? You can just steal that one there. But of course, still under some barrage of problems here, but there's so much spam up here. Tiptushi wisely realizing that this is a problem. He doesn't want to get, sandwiched with another base down here and having yielded the entire sea. But Isen reinforcing with some Tech 2 units now. And this is tricky for Tiptushi. He doesn't want him to get established. Really, really doesn't. And his commander's just going to town, racking up more kills. He's up to 69, soon to be 70 maybe. And yeah, so it's everything's on hold over here. You can see Isen's wisely built some TAP missile defense, but of course there's a double-edged sword with Aeon TAP missile defense. They are simultaneously the worst and the best TAC missile defense in the game. The reason for that is, of course, they don't actually shoot the missiles down like other races. Isen electing to bring his commander back to defend his main base, probably using this more as a distraction for the units rather than any kind of actual play to win the game. But of course his commander, Tiptushi's taken his commander down here, so Isen's just going to have a field day as long as he keeps microing it. Look, he's up to rank 4 now, massive amounts of health, and he should be able to just clean this out as long as he keeps microing it away and avoiding those mobile missile launchers and those T1 RT. He should be okay. He's taking some decent fire though, so he needs to continue to micro. But that's rank 5, and that's now 100 HP a second he's regenning. So it should allow him plenty of give there. And as I was saying about the T2 tactical missile launchers, they are countermeasures. They don't shoot down the missiles, but they will guide the missiles away. But of course the problem with that is that the missiles can still hit shields. If you're not destroying them before they hit the shields, then they can just go wherever. You don't really know where they're going to tail off to. And if you're paired up with Tech 3 mobile RT, Tech 1 RT, then you can still have a lot of damage inflicted upon your base. So it's kind of a problem. Lots of air units coming out now. Obviously Tiptushi is concerned about the T2 gunships, but he has teched up Isen to T3. He's responded with a quick T2 mobile flak, and he has got his Harbinger out, or the first of his Harbinger out. So this is now problems for Tiptushi. I can't believe how much this game has turned around. Tiptushi looking very, very strong in the early game, despite having lost the ocean, but has now yielded all of this side again and has found himself out-teched. However, he's also teched himself up to Tech 3, but he's produced the T3 Engineer first, which is going straight for T2 power. He's probably going to lose this. He's bringing his commander in to try and stop that from happening. Loses one of the mass. T3 mobile artillery now, just going to be wailing away over these cliff faces onto this plateau. Not much he can do about it, Tiptushi, except he is making a push. And look how fast those Titans are. And this has turned from massive T1 spam into a much higher tech battle. Harbinger's going straight after the Titans there, wisely recognizing them as the threat. But yeah, very much a stalemate at this side of things. Isen brilliantly reclaiming control of this side of the map. Tiptushi does not really want to be facing off against Harbingers, especially double shielded Harbingers, longer than he has to. And I guess he just wants to get overcharges in there and take it out as much as possible. But look at the amount of engineers Isen has on producing those T3 units. He's just going to keep them coming out, and as opposed to a much more meager amount of T1 engineers that's assisting Tiptushi's T3 factory. Isen now sensing blood, going after Tiptushi in a big way with his commander. Lots and lots of fire coming here with the Harbingers. Tiptushi having to back up, wanting to get behind this hill. Just managing to do so. Might be nice to snipe this radar if he has a chance, but the relief of the ground just playing havoc with them once again. Isen deciding to do a little bit of a reclaim and then just back on out of there. But now this cruiser that I missed coming out earlier, he's managed to deny any naval side of things. So really, barring some kind of air attack, all of this naval section, this naval mass, these naval hydrocarbons are safe. And Tiptushi not looking in a good way at this point. Isen being pretty ballsy with his commander, wanting him to keep him busy, overcharging a Percival there. Interesting, obviously, these T2 fighters just giving him enough vision to see what's going on. You can see by the score, Isen is pulled way ahead. I know that's not always the best indicator of who's going to win the game. But Tiptushi desperately trying to macro up a Ravager. Whether he gets that up or not before Isen actually solo heroing his commander forward.
Commander under attack.
Doing so much damage with that upgrade. It's always a choice between tech building on the commander earlier or some kind of weapon building, but that Ravager has gone up. That's going to start putting fire on Isen.
Commander under attack.
And you don't want to be taking sustained Ravager fire, no matter how upgraded your commander is. There's very little you can do about it. But there we go, the snipe, and Tiptushi goes down. What a game! Lots of back and forth. Very intriguing. But anyway, guys, stay tuned for more. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my casts. Obviously, the more notoriety we get, the better. Pull back some of those old GPG gamers that may have left the game and assume that there's no one playing it anymore. You can actually see here the amount of Merciers who was building that. Might have been a Mercier sniper, I'm not 100% sure. I'm sorry that I did miss that. It may have been visible on the replay if you were paying more attention than I was. But yeah, all in all, very good match, and I will have more for you coming soon. Catch you later, guys.